Hey everybody, and welcome back to Free Friday. Hit the subscribe button, like, leave a comment. I'm on the road with the band, right? And today, we're going to be talking about the difference between a few different minor scales. So, I was on my Patreon channel, and one of my popular Patreon patrons, who's very active and loyal and comments on all the videos, name of Salba. Back when I was a kid, there was a skateboarder named Steve Alba, and they called him Salba. I had a brother named Mickey, they called Malba. But anyway, Salba asked the question, explain the difference between different minor scales. What's the difference between the harmonic minor and the melodic minor, the minor pentatonic, these different scales? I have videos on all of these scales, but today we'll just do an overview. So I will link the videos below this video. If you go to the description box under there, you'll be able to learn each one of these scales. So today I'm just gonna show you what they are, and then you can go down and find the video yourself so you can learn how to play them. I'll probably end up talking a little bit about that anyway, so stay tuned. So I picked a B-flat harmonica, so we'll be working in the key of C minor today. Now I may also grab an F harmonica or even another key harmonica, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, let's start with the most common one, which is the natural minor scale, also known as the Aeolian scale. So anytime something has two names in life, it's usually important. Like if you have a cat that you really like the cat, I bet you that cat has 5 or 6 different nicknames. And then if you have another cat that you don't like as much, that cat probably only has one name, right? So here's the scale, right? And then I'll start in the low octave. And the second octave. Now I like it in third as opposed to any position, another position. Now check this out, on that subject, you can play any of these scales in any positions as long as you know what the notes are first. That would be the first way, and or how to overblow and bend. Okay, so see, for example, that was in C minor, but I could play that same scale on an F arc. Little higher, or a low F. Little pitchy there. Anyway, so the different scales, why would you use one and not another? Well, the easiest, the first reason for that, the answer to that question would be that if you look at the layout of the chord changes and you find all of the notes that happen to fall in it. So say we're dealing with the blues. Let's keep it easy. So on the one chord, there's your root of 1, 4, 5. So if you wanted to add to that, and you add a minor triad, or the 3 notes of the first chord of a C minor, right there, and then an F minor, C, D, E, F, G, and then a G minor, or there it is. It's keeping it minor. Go away. All right. So if we look at all those 3 notes, those are all part of the natural minor scale. So that makes complete sense to keep it Aeolian or A minor. If I were to just walk up 4 notes in quarter notes off of the root of 1, the root of 4, and the root of 5 using this scale, I would have a very similar progression to the Thrill Is Gone. And the Thrill Is Gone is an interesting number to mention right now because it has a raised 5th on bar 9. So normally where we play a 5, we would have a raised 5th. And this particular scale, the natural minor scale, has a raised 5th on it. In 3rd position, that note is the 3 half-step bend. So in quarter notes, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear how that sounds like the Thrill Is Gone? So I just started on the root and then just followed the scale up 4 tones. Root of 4, root of the raised 5th, root of 5, right? Or I could even do it backwards. Just like that. So that's the natural minor scale. So what songs are in natural minor? Well, thousands and thousands and thousands. House of the Rising Sun, some of the most famous ones. By Mongo Santa Maria, right? Or is it, no, he didn't do that. He did Afro Blue. That was Rodgers and Hammerstein that did Favorite Things. Coltrane made it famous. Also made Mongo Santa Maria's Afro Blue famous. Or there's so many songs that are in that natural minor scale. It's really your go-to minor scale for anything, whether it's folk or blues or jazz and stuff. But sometimes there's curveball. A lot of times the 5 in minor music is major. The harmonic minor scale has use for different songs, but also it has a completely different ethnicity. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Before I even get into the ethnicity of the harmonic minor scale, let's just talk about ethnicity in scales, period. So if we look at going back to the scale we just did, the natural minor or the Aeolian, what I mean by that ethnicity is that culturally what it reminds you of. So if we look at another minor scale that's actually within that scale, the minor pentatonic, it's just 5 of the notes that are in there. So I'm really just going to skip the 2 blow or the second note of the scale, and I'm going to go right to the minor 3rd. Then follow up to the 4th, and then to the 5. Skip the raised 5th, go to the flat 7 or 4 blow, to the 4 draw. So that's more meat and potatoes minor scale. If I add the 6 draw bend or the 3 double bend, triple bend, I get the blue scale. right? But if I just stay right in minor pentatonic, those are all notes within the natural minor. I'm just leaving out a couple. So really I could be playing in both scales at once. And then just throw in some little natural minor stuff. Get a little of that ethnicity. Keep it meat and potatoes for a little while and then start throwing in some other stuff. So you can mix these scales together too. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to keep it all one or the other. It all just depends on what chord you're on. That's why it's so important to learn what the root, the third, the fifth, and maybe where the 7 and 6 are of every single chord, because it's going to teach you how to pick which scale will work. You can also just use your ear and you'll hear when things are off, but it might take you a few times and you might get some bumps and bruises, metaphorically speaking, along the way. So you could, the easier, softer way, believe it or not, is to learn all the notes in the chord. Right, so like take that song for example. That's actually a song. I just arpeggiated 1, 4, and 5 minor in third position, right? But that's actually a song called Minor Swing, except the 5 chord is major. Right there. So that would tell me right there that the harmonic minor scale is a better choice than the melodic minor. So let's look at the harmonic minor. So far, just the same thing as Aeolian. Still. There's the difference. Instead of a flatted 7, it's a major 7 or a flat 1. Hear the difference between that and the 4 blow? That's natural minor. Here's harmonic minor. So there's that ethnicity. When we hear that, we think of spooky stuff or gypsy stuff. That beautiful major 7 becomes one of the darkest sounding notes in there. So that's a note that we normally think of being involved in songs like Somewhere Over the Rainbow and all these beautiful major songs, this shamelessly beautiful note, you know. However, when we put it together with a minor third and a raised fifth and all these other notes that we think of as being used a lot with minor keys, it becomes extra spooky. So it's the same thing as a 1 bend. It's a little tricky in the top octave. You got that overdraw. That's the one I miss on stage all the time. Right there. So anyway, another way to choose the notes, if you don't want to learn the notes that are in every chord, is listen to the song, find out the notes that are in the head of the song, the part of the song at the beginning that they play, and find out if those notes all lay out in whatever scale you want to learn. Like, are all the notes in the head part of the minor pentatonic? Nope, there it is, natural minor. That 2 blow in Summertime puts Summertime in the natural minor scale. So that's how you can tell. So you just go through the melody and go, oh well, see, I thought minor pentatonic might work, but there's that one note. What scale has that note in it along with the other ones? And that will help you find out the difference. So here we go. Natural minor. Harmonic minor. Minor pentatonic. Blues. Right? And then you can just play them however you want to play them. Oh, there's another one, a really famous natural minor song is Mr. PC by Coltrane, right? There's a little blues in there. Then it does the same thing on the 4. There's that blues. So that brings up another point. Sometimes certain songs will be mostly in a scale, but they have one note that's outside of it. A lot of times that note is the flat 5. It's just so dark and bluesy sounding. And again, I'm just using third position today because I really like this minor triad here, which I also get here. So I get a minor chord in the second and third octave. If I open my mouth up wide enough, I actually get a minor 6 chord, right? Which is very nice. But I can also do it in cross harp, any of these scales. So that was a harmonic minor in cross, or minor pentatonic. Oh, that was blues. Now I'll do blues. Right? But the real hard part about playing it in cross harp is you got to keep that 3 bent all the time. That's that minor third. Okay, this will be the most important part of the lesson. The most important note in a minor key is the minor third. It's even more important than the root, because I can play without the root, but I can't say that I'm in G minor if I don't. I can say I'm in G without playing a G, right? If I play all the other notes, because I can use a major third instead of the root. But I can't play in G minor without a minor third. Why? But why do they? That's why they call it a minor third. It's the note that defines the key as being minor, right? It's not just a third that has been flatted, like we say when we call it a flat third. Remember at the beginning of the lesson I told you that things that have more than one name are important? Well, a flatted third, right? This note here in second position, right there. That's a third that has been flatted. It means that it's okay to play it either way. You can play 3 or flat 3. Either way works. In a minor key, when we call it a minor third, that's the way of telling yourself in your mind and the band that that third must be flatted, because we can't have minor music without a minor third. At least that's how I understand it. So the cool thing about choosing a B flat in C minor, right? And we could talk about 4th and 5th, and we won't this lesson because I'm going to run out of time. The cool thing about that is in the first octave, it's just a 2 double bend. So all I got to do is get on 2 draw and honk on it really hard. But in the second octave, it's just a 5 draw. In the third octave, it's just a 9 draw. I'm tongue blocking it too. Oh, and that's the other great thing about third. I get all that nice. Well, first of all, I get look how much octave I have, right? So harmonic minor, or let's just do minor pentatonic. I'm already at the top octave of the first octave on 4 draw, which means I have a whole other octave and then some. Man, you got to clean your harmonicas after every night, guys. If I were to try to play that in cross harp, I'm already at 6 blow. Already at 6 blow. So I've used up 3/4 of the harmonica just to get 1 octave. And then to go up to the top, I need that 6 overblow. And I'm way up on 9 blow by the time I get to the 2nd octave. So 3rd position gives you that, plus you get the chord and the 2nd chord. And then you have use of this nice low B flat, or middle of the road B flat harmonica, which is a lot more pleasing in the ear most of the time than that little honky little F harp, which is fun for funk music and other stuff too. Don't hate on the high F. Gotta love the high F. But you could always grab you a tenor tune low F if you got the money or the resources. Anyway, that is the difference between 3 different minor scales. Not gonna be much editing in this video, guys. We're headed to Elkton, Maryland. And for those who know me, I'm getting ready to see the great Lee Mack. I appreciate my band here. Right here is Mr. Ricci driving the boat. They had to listen to this bullshit, pardon my language. Hey, look though, you know what? Some of the stuff that I said you might not understand. I didn't understand it either. It's just, these are just names that we learn to communicate with each other. It's just terminology. But you can find all of these scales and all of the videos and how to play them, again, linked below, along with different backing tracks that will work for each one of them if you visit the videos. Thanks very much. Subscribe today. Appreciate y'all, and see you next time.